clarinets, welcome back. Today we're going to finish out clarinet upper joint number 1, which is on page 8 of your packet. We have already learned our first 5 notes, and by now you should be proficient at playing them in succession, going down and going back up, as is in line 6 and 7. Today we are going to be doing line 8 and 9 in your packet, and this is pretty much the same thing, but we're going to be doing it in half notes instead of whole notes. So we're going to be doing them a little bit faster. And one of the first questions that you may have is, what are these funny looking curvy lines right here? That looks like a face, doesn't it? Looks like eyes with lips smiling at us. Well, it's not a face. These are called slurs, and they can go below notes like you see them right here. Or if your stems are going down the opposite direction, you can also see them going over the top of the notes. And what a slur means is that we're just going to use air and fingers when we are going from one note to the next. So you may at this point have heard a little bit about tonguing, how to start a note with the tip of your tongue. So we're not going to be tonguing all of the notes. We're just going to start the first note, and then the second note, you're just going to move your finger. So instead of it sounding like this, making separate, distinct notes, we're just going to join them together with the air. Because we're very focused right now on moving just the fingers and keeping the air moving the whole time. So let's count a couple of these, shall we? Half notes. Down, up, ready, and count. 1, 3, rest, 2, breathe. 1, 3, rest, 2, breathe. 1, 3, and so on and so forth. You've got the idea how that's going to work. Now, something I want you to notice before we start this line. I'm going to play G, F, and then when I rest, the next measure is going to start with the same note that I ended on. So this ends on F. This one is going to begin on F. And it's going to do that throughout the whole exercise. Now, because of that, when we are resting, we don't want to move anything on our face. We don't want to move our fingers. We don't want to move our embouchure around. Everything is going to be frozen in place, except you're going to need to take a breath out of the side of your mouth. So it's going to look like this. My teeth are still on the top of the mouthpiece as I take this breath. I'm just opening my mouth a little bit and then coming right back into that embouchure so I'm ready for the next measure. All right, so let's note name, shall we? Starting on open G, make sure your fingers are nice and slanted, that your thumb is up going at that 45-degree angle up on the back, and that I'm going to have my finger pads centered on all the Cheerios. I think I'll keep this up close so you can watch. Here we go. Start on G. Ready, set, and go. G, F, tap, 2, freeze your hand. F, E, touching metal, next one, go. E, D, 1, 2, next one, go. D, C, make sure you're centered down in there really well. Good. Now, notice this gap right here. So that's kind of going to feel a little unnatural right there. So make sure you're pushing down here so that you have that little space between your middle finger and your first finger. Okay. It's just a clarinet thing that we have to do. And turning your hand upwards will help you make that a little more comfortable. So if you're like this, that's going to feel very, very bad. But if you're like this, that's going to be quicker to move your fingers. Let's play. Sit tall. On your embouchure, push up. Teeth on top. Breathe. Did you remember to use nice firm air all the way through? I hope so. Now you may have noticed at the end of the line that I didn't immediately put my instrument down. That's just a polite way that musicians finish a line, okay? So when we get to the end of the music, whatever we're playing, don't immediately take the reed out of your mouth, the instrument, the mouthpiece out of your mouth. That's kind of rude manners for musicians. So we're going to wait a second before we do that, okay? Line 9 is exactly the same thing, except we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to go up. So we're going to start on C. Let's note name. Make sure all the Cheerios are covered and you've covered the third finger tone hole there as well. Ready? Tap, tap, and starting on C. C, D, tap, 2, next measure, go. D, E, tap, 2, next measure, go. E, F, tap, 2, last one, go. F, G. Right, you ready? Let's start on C, coming up. Teeth on top, push up, sit really tall in your seat. Tap, 2, start on C. Read your face. Now we're going to go back and we're going to join those two lines together. So we're going to start on line 8 going down, and then we're going to do line 9 coming back up. And right here at the end of line 8, we're going to need to add 4 counts of rest just to give us time to get to the beginning of line 9. Here we go. You can play with me this time. Push up and tap, 2, breathe. Line 9, breathe. How'd you do? That works our muscles, doesn't it? All right, give yourself a little mini massage and a pat on the back. Keep practicing this every day, and next time you'll be ready to go to the next assignment page. Good luck.